Hey guys, so there's the Air Force volleyball team here today to talk to you guys about academics at USAFA. I'm Mackenzie Comer. I'm a right side rising sophomore on the team, and something fun I've done so far this quarantine is I painted a picture of like my house. Like me and my sister sat outside and we painted. It didn't turn out good at all.
Do you have it? Can I see
Huh?
it? Can I see it?
I may or may not have thrown it away. It was really bad.
You threw it in the trash?
That's so
What?
sad.
You threw it in the trash?
Bro, it did not. When I say like I'm a bad artist, I'm like really not good.
Can you just draw like a square, like a little roof?
Well, the problem
Like,
was like
No,
I was painting and the brushes weren't very small. So like it just kind of ended up like everything was just like it was hard to like make things look good because it was like a normal size paper. You know what kind of brushes I'm talking about? Like when the brushes are too big.
I know
You
you're
know what I'm
talking
saying? No. Okay, you guys introduce yourselves.
Abby.
okay. I'm Abby Collins. I'm a rising junior. I'm a setter. And one thing fun I've done over quarantine, Viddy knows, I have, for some reason, invested money and taken boxing back up again. Just to get out some of that aggression, that anger. I'm having a great time. It's fun. I'm teaching my sister and my friends.
Do you like go to boxing class? You can't go.
No, I bought it all.
Like the bag and everything? Wait, can you send us a picture later?
Oh no, I have videos of me like I like know some combos. Like it's pretty nasty. Yeah.
Are you okay?
That's actually kind of lit.
No, it's actually really fun. It's very entertaining.
Stream on Instagram.
I will. I'll go live the next time.
Jeez.
Teach all my fans.
I would join that live.
Would you?
I probably would.
I'll teach you my combos.
Bro, I could like shadow box like you could do like a class.
I think I might do it.
Teach a class.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You should.
Okay. I'll look into it. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Someone else go, please. Someone else talk about themselves.
Okay, I'll go. I'm an outside rising junior. Let's see. What have I been doing lately? I've been going on a lot of walks with my parents, and I've been cooking a lot more. So, chef now.
Good eats.
Good eats, my guy. Okay. Follow my Instagram. Good eats, my guy.
Bro.
After it. All right, Andy, go.
Hi, I'm Andy. I'm gonna be a senior. I'm trying to figure out how to get Vic's like thingy on the screen.
She just has to talk.
I don't know why it's not working. Okay. I'm gonna be a senior. During quarantine, I have literally done nothing. My family we're like watching the Marvel movies in the order, like in like universe order. That's kind of fun.
Oh.
Dang.
Wait, is Vic in this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Oh, I don't see her.
Yeah, I don't either.
Well, I'll just keep talking. Hopefully you'll see me.
There she
I'm
is.
Vic, and I'm going to be a junior. And one fun thing I've been doing is painting, and I yelled at my sister to go get mine. So I made this little airplane because,
so
power,
cool.
right?
Is that what yours looked like, Kenzie?
Well, sort of, except the house.
Oh. So yeah,
I should have
that's about it.
mountains.
Mountains would have been easier, I think.
Yeah. We were trying to do the thing, like when you like sit there and you look at something and then you like try and paint it exactly.
It didn't work.
That's what I did. There was a flyover over USAFA, so I like got my binoculars out and I was like,
That's
really fast. Got the airplane.
That's believable.
I wish I could do that.
And me too.
I never thought of doing that actually, but next flyover I probably will. Okay, so anyways, we're gonna talk to you guys about the academics at the academy. So first, Vic and Abby are gonna talk about the different majors that are offered. Take it away.
All right. Vic, you want to start or you want me to?
I'll start. So, the better majors at the
No.
academy
That's crazy.
we have a lot of STEM majors, which is a big part. So that's science, technology, engineering, math. So all the majors that we offer are engineering. There's aeronautical, astro, there's computer engineering, ECE, which is electrical engineering, there's general types. We also offer a math major, econ, so there's a huge range. And then my personal favorite, operations research, which is a combination of math and econ and a whole bunch of other things.
Yeah, so the actual better majors are what they call the fuzzy majors, which are like the non-techie majors. So like philosophy, history, English, political science, behavioral science, a bunch of majors like that. There are not as many of them, but I like them better. I think they're better.
And we forgot there's also chemistry, bio, and physics as well.
Yes.
And stuff in that range.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
what are you guys all majoring in?
I'll start. I'm a philosophy major with a minor in religious studies. Yeah, I really enjoy it. Am I supposed to say anything else? No? Okay.
I'm in a war major, just like this. And Kenzie.
Major.
What are you?
And I'm also a Russian minor, so we forgot to talk about the minors. There's a bunch of different languages you can take. Russian, Chinese, Japanese, Spanish, French, and then there's also a nuclear minor. So yeah.
Vit?
Say what yours was.
Poli-sci major. Said that like 3 other times, but no one heard me.
You gotta be louder, Vit.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Vit, do you want to talk about summer classes and how they work, and like, do you have to take them or are they optional?
Yeah, so I was on a 4-5-1. That's when you take 4 classes fall semester, 5 classes spring semester, and then you take a class in the summer automatically. If you're not on that schedule, I was on the schedule because I was preppy, but if you're not on that schedule and you're just taking regular like 5 or like 6 classes, you can put in for it. It's a little harder to like get summer classes because you have to do that like lottery thing to get like the class you want, and there's only certain classes offered during like certain periods of the summer. So like say you want law, like the law class for over the summer isn't offered every single period, so you have to like check the schedule of like what class is offered each period and then see where that like fits within your like summer schedule. So
they're really trying to like to push people to do airmanship programs, so they're taking away a lot of like summer academic slots. I don't know if it was Kenzie's class or y'all's class, like they completely took away all of like the summer act spots for the summer, or all of the act spots for summer, unless you like do it specifically through your major. So they're like, those are slowly going down ish.
And then also, like, if you fail a class, sometimes like you have the option to like retake it in the summer. Okay. Vit, what is the average class size for like a normal like introductory wait, how do you spell it?
introductory.
Yeah, that hurts.
So introductory classes, it's like usually core classes like freshman year, sophomore year. So it's like a bigger class size because you're taking like all the classes that you have to take in order to graduate. And then once you declare your major, it starts getting smaller. Like one of my poli-sci classes is only like 15 people, which is super small. So yeah, it gets smaller once you get like junior year, senior year, like just focusing on your major classes.
And when she says bigger classes, like that's very specific, like bigger to our school, because I know a lot of universities, it's like you can have classrooms of 150 people, but like the biggest class I've ever been in was 25 people. And
Yeah,
that was big. So, I mean, the smallest class I've been in was 7 people. So there's just like a big range. And once you get in the higher level classes, you have less people in them. We're annoying. 7.
Andy, do you want to talk a little bit about what the professors are like?
Yeah, so professors at the academy are, which is one of the nicest things about the academy, I think, is their entire job is to obviously like teach classes, but it's to like be there for extra help when you're not in class. So most teachers teach like probably like 3 or 4 periods. It definitely depends on the teacher and like what department they work in, but a majority of them have like at least 2 or 3 periods off during the day to where they're 100% available for you to like go to their office and ask for help kind of thing. Yeah, so they're like always there. There's literally always so much extra help around if you need extra help. And a lot of the teachers at the academy are super cool. Like we get a lot of people that have like been around the world and done a bunch of cool things. So like, and they always have stories to come back and tell. So that's another cool thing about the academy, I think.
And then, Vic, does the academy offer a writing center or any types of like tutoring programs?
Yeah, so going off what Andy said, I think one of the best things at the academy is they offer EI, which is extra instruction. So you can schedule time with any of your teachers or any other teachers that you've never even had before, and they'll spend hours a day with you just one-on-one to help you. And I think that's been one of the best things for me. And another way, if for example you don't have time during the day to get tutoring, you can go in the evenings. There's a writing center and the QRC, which is basically the math, physics, science tutoring center. And there's people that work there full time, and their whole job is just to help you with all of your classes. So you can go until I think 8 or 9 p.m. They're open. You can either walk in, show up, and then go to an available teacher. And sometimes there's cadets tutoring down there. One time I walked in after practice at 8 p.m. and some cadet helped me with Calc 3, and it was really nice. So there's also a writing center, so you can bring your essays down, and they'll help you out with that. So yeah.
That's the other nice thing too about like so freshman year and a good part of sophomore year, you have to take your core classes, which is the bunch of classes that everybody takes. And it's nice like being surrounded by people that are taking the same classes as you. And so if you ever need help with anything, there's always like everybody else in your class, like all 1,000 like 4 digs, or I guess half of them will be taking chemistry at the same time. So there's like 500 people taking it at the same time as you. And then there's also like, I don't know, they probably have like 10, like up to 10 chem instructors. So like you can go get help from them too. Just nice.
And then, Andy, are most courses taught through lectures or are they more interactive usually?
It kind of depends on your major. I think like a lot of history classes that I've had, I would say more lecture, but also the academy's version of lecture is still like you're in a classroom with 22 people and the teacher sits there and talks. But like if you ever have questions, you're always free to stop and interrupt and ask questions. It's not like normal school where they have like lecture halls of 500 people and you just have to like sit and listen and leave and figure it out on your own. A lot of like the techie classes, I guess is what they call them, so like math and science classes are definitely like really interactive. So like you'll do problems on the board kind of thing in class, like go step by step through things. Law is another mandatory class that everybody has to take. That one's super interactive. That was one of my favorite classes that I've like had to take at the academy. Yeah, it definitely depends on like what class you're taking, but I would say a majority of classes end up being like super interactive rather than just sitting and listening.
Cool. So thank you guys for joining us today. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye.
And you missed
So many questions.
What?
you missed so many questions. It was
Wait, what?
go back up to like after what are you majoring in? Do you see what I'm talking about?
You missed 2. The one that Andy has and the one that I have.
Here, we'll help you out. Abs, do you want to talk about declaring a major on time, how you're supposed to?
Yes. Well, you're supposed to declare a major before, what is it, like September of your sophomore year, you're supposed to have already declared. And they have a lot of like majors fairs, a majors fair, or majors night is what they call it, where it's all the majors set up booths and you can just go and ask a bunch of questions, see the pamphlets, like interact with the instructors, talk to cadets that are in those with those majors. I ended up I came in wanting to go pre-med and declared bio and then changed it quickly to philosophy because I realized that I hated chemistry. So I didn't think that was going to work. And then I ended up actually really liking writing papers, and I really liked the philosophy department. So I just went with that. I know Vic has a very different experience of how she declared. So
Yeah, so like Abby said, you're supposed to declare September of your sophomore year, but I am extremely indecisive and I had no idea what I wanted to do coming in, and I had no idea what I wanted to do end of freshman year, and we're still taking the intro classes. So September passed and I was thinking I knew I wanted to go techie, so either math major or 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 engineering of some kind. So then it was November, and then I got a really passive aggressive email saying, "You are one of 12 cadets in your class of 1,200 that has not declared a major." And I was like, oh no, I'm going to get kicked out. Anyway, yeah, it's actually fine. If you're indecisive like me, I ended up going to talk to a bunch of the departments, and I talked to Andy and a bunch of other people on the team, which was really helpful, and I declared OR, I think, December. And it ended up being okay. I had to run around, get a bunch of papers signed by teachers, but if you're indecisive like me and you wait till the last minute, you'll end up fine in the long run.
Med school too would definitely. Oh, sorry. Does somebody else have time? I know Abby said she had like started in like chem, like doing med stuff like that. Like there are definitely ways to get to med school after the academy if you want to be a doctor, like either in the Air Force or like however you want to do it. It's just definitely not one of the most popular paths like taken at the academy.
yeah.
And known to be like some of the harder programs that we offer. I think like partially because just not a lot of people do it, and so that, I mean, they like have the ability to make it harder. But yeah, it's definitely, you can go, we have people that go to med school every year. Like I know there's at least one or two that go every year, so it's definitely a thing. It's just like it's a pretty selective.
It's really competitive, which
Yeah.
makes it more challenging. But there are always opportunities to go to grad school. And then depending on your major, they might have more grad school slots. So like I know for personally, like philosophy, if you're a philosophy major, you're almost guaranteed a grad school spot if you get accepted somewhere and you want it. And most of the time, correct me if I'm wrong, the grad school programs, it's like you go to a civilian university and then just like have to represent and wear your uniform once a week, but it's paid through the Air Force. You just end up owing more time in service.
Yeah, and it depends too, like that also is another reason to think about, is like it's very dependent on your major, whether or not grad school is like an open opportunity. So like the major that me, Vic, and Kenzie are in, the prerequisite training before we're allowed to start like an operations research analyst job in the Air Force is to go to grad school. So like you're almost, if you get ops research as a job in the Air Force, they'll like, you have to go to grad school before you start your job. There's a place called AFIT too. It's like Air Force Institute of Technology, which is like their own version of grad school. So if you pick a techie major, that is offered at AFIT, there's a greater chance of you getting sent to AFIT for grad school than you probably would have to go to a civilian school. Not saying that like you can't do it, and there's definitely still ways to get there, but they do try to funnel people to AFIT if like your major is offered at AFIT, because I think just like financially it's easier for them. And then you are technically getting paid to go to school. So you don't get to wear civvies, like you wear your uniform to school too. And then the commitment tacked on afterwards, I think, is a little bit less than if you go to civilian school.
And another thing, I don't know how it is for other majors, but at least for OR, even if you major in OR, you can go to grad school for computer science or econ or for math. So you don't necessarily even have to go to grad school for exactly what you ended up majoring in.
Mhm.
That is OR specific-ish kind of. Not a lot of majors you can go different grad school routes if you want to, but our major kind of lends itself to that nicely. But yeah. Another thing is too, with jobs coming out earlier. So for my class, well, we were supposed to get our jobs sooner, but with everything that's going on, it's not really happening. But they're starting to look at pushing up the date that you get the job that you would have in the Air Force. So like the seniors, the last couple of years, they usually get their jobs in like October, and then you have them for however many months until you graduate. But they're trying to push it up to the fall to the spring of your junior year, so you have a little bit less time to decide what you want to do. And something that I started to learn like late into the year I'm in right now is the major that you pick when you like first declare has a lot to do with the job that like you're eligible for when you get your actual like AFSC is what they call it. I don't know if one of you guys wants to talk about that. If you know.
I mean, like for pilot, if you want to fly, you can any major. There are econ majors, there are astro majors that can fly. That's not necessarily specific, but with like the engineering career fields, you have to have engineering specific degrees. And then there are other majors and degrees that are just more specific and more applicable in different career fields. So like, I don't know if we all want to like say maybe what we want to do, but like I want to go into either the Office of Special Investigations or Security Forces and with my major, it's applicable because my minor is religious studies. And right now there's a very large pull in specifically like the cop aspect like that for people with a religious focus because of all the religious terrorist groups. So like that's not something that I would have initially thought of, but in picking that, it becomes applicable. What do y'all want to do?
I can go. So I was thinking of what Abby was saying, OSI, but I'm leaning more towards like cyberspace now and just intel. And then I don't know about if I'm gonna get out yet after 5 years. And then if I would get out after 5 years, it would probably be to try to go into the FBI. So yeah.
I want to be an ops research analyst, which is kind of like, I don't really know a way to describe it. It's kind of like a mix between like data analytics and like like engineering kind of thing. It's like optimizing things. I don't know.
I will be flying, hopefully. So I love my major, but I'm trying to get a pilot slot anyway.
Fun.
Yeah, and I don't know if I want to fly yet, so TBD.
Another thing too, which is like kind of, oh, hi Kate. Kate just popped on my screen. Is that they weight the type, not, I don't know if weight's the right word. The type of major that you have though definitely dictates like how likely you are to get the jobs that you put in for. So they changed it to where if you're I don't know how long it's been this way, but if you're a STEM major, so like one of the engineers, I know OR's one. I'm not 100% sure about bio and chem, but if you're a STEM major, you're guaranteed one of the top 3 jobs that you put in for, preference wise, and they can't guarantee that to you if you're not a STEM major. So like if you do like philosophy like Abby's doing, or I don't know, like history or law, then you're not necessarily guaranteed one of your top 3 preferences. I don't really think that like gets in the way of a lot of people a lot, but definitely something to consider.
Yeah, it's not very often. They try their absolute hardest to get you at least one of your top 3. They do everything in their power to. I think the last thing we're supposed to touch on is like PE classes. So your freshman year, you're required to take boxing. And then sophomore year, you're required to take a swim class and then a water survival class. And then junior year, you take 2 different classes of combatives, so like hand-to-hand combat, kind of like grappling. It's combatives 1 and combatives 2. And then senior year, it's just like you pick your PE class. So I think we take golf.
Yeah, we play golf.
Pretty exciting.
Yes.
I'm not good at
Do
golf.
do we have to take golf or can we pick something else?
I think we can pick technically.
Golf is on our schedule already. I know that. Because
Oh,
normally that's like the easiest one, I guess, to do. Everybody thinks there's a yoga PE class offered, and everybody thinks that's going to be like a chill class, but it's apparently like a ton of memorization.
yeah, I
And like
heard
you
it.
have to like recite things, and you have written tests, and that doesn't sound fun.
One other thing that we missed too is the types of internships and faculty research opportunities. I don't know if any of you guys want to talk about that.
I don't know.
I can talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
So I know Kat Medill, she was on our team last year, and she went to the NSA to shadow for 3 weeks, right? Did she shadow for 3 weeks or 6 weeks? 3
Yeah.
weeks?
Well, she did. It was like 5 weeks. It was for her ops program.
Yeah. So she went to the NSA, and I'm gonna talk to her a little bit more about that because I want to do like something like that in junior year summer, just to be able to do an internship and like have that on my resume. So.
And there's also internships offered through your major. So I know like the NRO, the National Reconnaissance Office, came to USAFA and they offered a briefing for OR majors, and they said, hey, we try to pull people out of USAFA to come work for us once they graduate, but we also offer a summer program. So you can apply and it's really selective, but there's ways to get internships. Normally, I think after your junior year, right, Andy?
Yeah.
That-
A majority, it's called CSERP is like the program that it's called. And a majority of majors like have their own CSERP. So depending on what you pick, you'll have like, I'm pretty sure every major almost has them though. You have like the chance to apply and then do an internship type thing for like up to 6 weeks after your junior year, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I was supposed to do one, but I think that is not happening any longer. So
Where were you gonna go?
I don't know. They hadn't told us yet.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Do we get everything?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Kenzie's computer shut down, so she's missing the end.
Oh, wait, you muted yourself.
Who?
Kenzie muted herself.
Oh, I'm back. I logged in on my phone. My computer just shut down, so yay.
Hi.
That.
Forgive you.
Okay, well, does anyone have anything else to add?
No.
No, good.
Okay.
Wash your hands.
Thanks for tuning in. What?
Thanks, Kenzie.
Bye.